Okay, regarding the coronavirus, me personally, my personal opinion about the coronavirus is I'm not concerned about it, not even slightly. Not even at all. If the Lord told me to go to China, to go to Wuhan, China, and walk around and breathe the air and rub my eyes and lick my fingers and touch doorknobs, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. And I'm not joking. I am not afraid at all of the coronavirus. Okay? And the reason I say that is in 1994, I beat HIV. In 2000, not I, but I was healed from God beat HIV. In 2008, I was showing so many symptoms for diabetes. I mean, my hands would fall asleep at night, and I'd wake up in the night and have to shake my hand, and it felt like it was dead, like there was no blood flow. I started to have problems with my eyes that are related to diabetic retinopathy. I couldn't exercise. I was lethargic, and I was showing a bunch of signs for diabetes. And in 2008, I was healed. Okay, and that was during the Florida healing outpouring. Then I remember when I lived in a house with family, I remember waking up one day with a really bad sore throat. You know how when you're about to get the flu, you get a sore throat? And I remember thinking, oh no, this feels like the flu, right? And then I don't remember anything else about it. But the two other people who lived in the house were laid out by the flu for about 7 or 8 days. Okay, and I remember them talking about, I got the worst flu, it's terrible. And they're like, you better hope you don't get it. And I remember thinking, and I asked them, I said, did it start with a real bad sore throat? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, about 4 days ago, I woke up with a really bad sore throat. And then I was like, and that's all that ever happened, Like, in other words, when other people get the flu and they're laid out for a week and a half, I get the first initial symptoms of it, and then I forget that it ever, and then somebody has to remind me that might have been the flu that we have that put us out of work for a week. Point is, I'm not worried about it. I'll spank that devil too. I've spanked every devil so far. I've spanked the FBI devil, and there's people who are the devil in the FBI trying to destroy me. I've spanked so many I've spanked the witchcraft devil. The people who have been witchcrafting against me, I've spanked their devil, and I've spanked them too. I'm just saying, I'm not worried about, you know what? To be honest, right now, I'm living my happiest dream ever. I'm not joking. I'm super happy. I'm filled with the Holy Spirit. I'm increasing so much in power. I'm having visions and revelation all the time, way more than ever before. And when the devil attacks me, I'm feeling so much power to rebuke it. It's not even funny. And then I'll see vision. Last night at the church, actually, I saw a vision where, those snake handler things that they use to handle snakes? It's like a rod with a hook on the end. Well, this one had a little gripper on one end, like a little trigger, and on the other hand, it had a little and I saw a vision of an angel holding a big old snake by the throat, and it was on one of these long, it was like he was holding it with a snake handling gun or whatever you want to call it. Like this extended rod that had the snake in a grip by its throat. And I remember I saw it and I thought, what is this? And then a moment later, I saw the angels with the snake laid out on the floor. And then I spoke by the Holy Spirit. I said, cut it open. And they cut this snake open, and inside the snake was like some giftings of God. and I saw like blue light coming out of the stomach of the snake. And then I asked God what it means, and he said that the devil had tried to swallow up some giftings, some prophetic giftings. That's the other thing, is I've been going out and doing street ministry, and God's been using me prophetically, like, and you know when God uses you by the Holy Spirit. Like, you'll walk up to somebody and suddenly you'll start telling them stuff, and they look at you like, oh man, and then you ask them, what does that mean? And they say, oh, everything you're saying is right, like, I'm just saying, this has been happening more than once. Actually, every time I've gone out into public, it's like I'm being restored. I'm being restored spiritually. And God is, as a matter of fact, the only time I experienced depression was about 3 days ago. And when I decided to file suit against the FBI, then the depression left and I got happy again. So it felt like God was telling me, hey, you can't let these guys destroy you. You have to go and fight against them. And so I'm fighting against them in every capacity, spiritually, in prayer, and also in the natural. And God's about to give them a good spanking, a good old-fashioned whooping. And, there's good people in the FBI too. I mean, I understand their purpose, their plan, what they need to do. But, there's no need to make me restore something I haven't stolen. And if you come against me, God's going to come against you equal or strength or stronger. That's why the witches will cut themselves, and they'll need to ask me to pray that God will make the bleeding stop. How many times has that happened? And I'm talking to you. There's somebody you can't blame me that you cut yourself. And now you don't want to go to the hospital because it's not covered. And now you want me to pray that the bleeding will stop. Well, you need to pray yourself. I'll pray, Lord, stop the bleeding. How about you stop the persecution? Stop the witchcraft. And the coronavirus, you can cast that spell on me all day long. The person who's going to get coronavirus is the one who casts a spell on me. Oh, they're hoping that I get coronavirus? I probably already had it. My body processed it and said, thank you very much. I've been all around town. I mean, I'm not worried about it. No. I have the joy of the Lord. Amen.